Bruce talked to Tim Flynn about the issue. He needs 80 some hours of training to get his permit. As I said in the comments, I hope in the future we can have the permits issued in Belding. We've got a one-year contract with the county to basically make us legal in the state. Otherwise the state, I'm not sure, but I'm guessing if the state would have known what we were doing 3 years ago, we'd have been shut down anyway, and we'd have been going to Ionia or getting somebody trained to do this issue. I hope in the next year we can look at what it would cost us if it's extra, because we would have to have at least one of our counter people at the city hall trained to accept these things, or arrange for AGS to be here 1-2 days a week in some project. And I hope we do that. That was one of my concerns, is we're gonna have to have people chasing over to Ionia to do this. But basically we were running illegal with what we were doing. We have to do something soon. One of the comments, and I'm not sure who made it, about the council responding to some of the questions that are presented when the public comment part comes up to for the public. It is public comment. It's not a question and answer with the council. That's the reason I'm maybe giving my answers at this point, and I didn't do it when they were standing at the podium. We are responsible to the city general population. All of these people were elected to the city council except myself. I was appointed 2 years ago, I think it was, a year and a half ago, because of the vacancy. But all these council members have been, the other ones have all been elected at a general election. And that can happen at any election. They can be voted out, they could be voted back in. But I think all of them are trying to do the best they can for all the city residents. And I don't want to see us drift into the issue we had with the previous city manager. I just hope we can all keep talking between everybody and talk to Bruce and try to work through these issues. And I'm sorry if there was some confusion between emails that may have not been clear. I guess that's it.
I got a lot of things I wanted to say, and I'm trying to keep them straight. That drawing that Denny had, if that gets stamped by, can you show it to the engineer, and if he'll stamp it, then we'll accept that.
This one or this one?
The one that he submitted, no, he submitted the drawing with re-rod and the grade and the whole, yes, that one. Because I showed it to a few different people, and they said they feel the only thing that's missing is the engineer's stamp.
It is an engineered drawing.
Yeah,
There's no question
that's what they
about
told
that.
me.
It's just missing the stamp.
If
You are
that's what I'm
correct.
asking.
And that's what I was gonna talk to them about after the meeting.
Yeah, just, can we get that stamped and will the city's engineer look over?
When he submitted this to me, he said, "This is my engineering drawings."
That's neither here nor there. If he gets it stamped, will the city's engineer look at the drawing and accept it, or
All
accept
this
it?
tells us is what the trench would look like and where the re-rod is in the base for the memorial. It doesn't get anywhere near engineered drawings.
It gives
If
you-
it-
I don't think an engineer would stamp it.
Okay, if they, maybe they won't, but this is my question is, this is what I need to answer, is again, if the engineer stamps that, will you turn it over to our engineer to look at them?
Sure,
Okay.
sure.
This I can tell you, this has enough detail for me to build it.
Yeah.
Wait a minute,
Hold
the
on.
engineer's
Hold
drawing.
on,
the drawing
hold
is of
on,
the
this
building.
is not,
That's speaking as a contractor, Ron. There's enough here to build it from, so if an engineer
Hold on.
stamped it, you've got
this is
everything you
council,
need.
I was told the same thing, so.
Anything else?
I had a lot to say. Thank you to the Vietnam and the VFW American Legion for their dinner. It was a great experience, first time I've ever been there. Thank you, Denny, for all the work that you've done on this. Hopefully you can get the ball rolling. Mrs. Russo, Mr. Russo, I remember him as one of my teachers. He's a great individual.
That's my son.
Yeah. And he's a great individual and has been great to thousands and thousands of kids in our community. And thank you for having a great son.
Thank you.
That's all.
Okay. Tom stole most of my thunder with his speech. A few things that were left off though. As far as the sign that was on the corner for the mall, that's something we tried to get the DDA and the mall to take care of for years. That sign was very unsafe, it was rotted very badly. Bruce did the right thing by taking it down and getting it out of there before it fell and hurt somebody or landed on a car or caused some kind of problem. That's why that sign was taken down. And then, and he had permission from who, at that time, we thought was the guy in charge of the mall. And then it turned out that after he took down the sign, that wasn't the case, but that was who we had on record. So Bruce agreed to put the other sign up. It didn't cost anybody any money except for Bruce and whomever he got to help fund it. That's it. Okay. Denny, everybody up here does want to see that wall up. We do want to see it. But because of the same problems we've got with the building permits and stuff, we don't have the right personnel here to take care of stuff like that. The engineered drawings have to be finished. That's all there is to it, because there's liability not only for the city, but for you, because you're the one that's constructing it. So that has to be taken care of. And that's the only real holdup. I believe that with what you have there, it tells where the rod's at and stuff, that's probably enough to do the foundation, but I don't know because I'm not an engineer. And we just want to make sure that it's done right, because we want that memorial to be there for a long, long time. We don't want anything to happen to any of that property there, because it is a beautiful thing you're doing. And it is not only for the city of Belding, but for all the surrounding people around here, it's for everybody to come and look at. But it has to we have to make sure that it's done properly. That's it, on that. Yes, we can be voted out at any time. I've been on the council for 6 years now, I have 3 years left of my term. You can also recall us if you want to. But we're up here, and we have to be very careful about what we do. We can't just jump at stuff and say, okay. Tom asked about having somebody here for the building permits and stuff. It was already an increase in the fees. We never thought about the fact of what it was gonna cost you to drive back and forth to Ionia. Our mistake, we're bad on that. But I believe Bruce has figures on what it would cost for them to be up here. For us to contract with them directly would be even more expensive than what it is going through the county. And that's a cost savings thing. So that's the way I understand it. Whether it's right, wrong, indifferent, I don't know. Bruce and I will talk and I'll find out. And Bruce will talk to all of us about it. We are trying to do the right things and sometimes we fail. We are human. That's all there is to it. I guess I'm done. I've said enough. You can applaud now for me saying I've said enough.
Thank you, Mike. Well, a lot of things were touched on tonight, but I want everybody to have a safe Thanksgiving. Don't forget, we got Home for the Holidays, the tree lighting, we've got the candlelight reception at the library. And I had 3 grandchildren that were in the band this year. 2 of them were doing the props and one was a drum major. So that was very exciting. And you know, kudos for these kids for sticking it out, doing what they did, rain or shine, and especially, I think it was hotter up there than what they got left this year for being so hot on those fields, but
The technical difficulties was the hardest
yes.
at state.
And then Corey, for the article that he did on this, and I want to thank everybody for coming, so. With that, I'd ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
A second?
Support.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call for the vote.
Mr. Gunderson?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?